Hello everybody, this is the top-down analysis for the month. So the November month has just been closed. Today is the 1st of December. Let's just have a look at the major pairs, like the majors, as well as some of the important cross pairs, and what we might expect during the next couple of months. So here's the euro dollar. I'm focusing mainly here now on the weekly and the monthly. So the US dollar overall on the monthly, well, it's in an overall downtrend. It's moving in a sideways down channel. You can clearly see here a touch of the upper channel. Well, there was a 200, and there was a big number here, the 125. So it's kind of a cluster level. Price was drawn to it and then got rejected. So clearly, my targets. Well, now the target becomes the power number, the 1, which is a very strong magnet. It's a psychological area that prices are drawn to, ready to pull and push through. I'm expecting that price pushes through. We don't see a lot of momentum here coming into this recent downtrend. You see small bars. I'm expecting actually to see a big move, like a big red bar, and kind of coming out of that sooner than later. It looks about to be ready, like this coming month or the next month. We have plotted here a red monthly bar, and we can see here on the weekly as well, where we had a pullback into the moving averages, and now price is rolling over, and this rolling over has created this red monthly bar. So yeah, we might see just a continuation of this overall downtrend. We might see a next move lower. And as I said, I'm expecting much more an increase in volatility coming out of this chart, which will obviously have an impact on the whole currency market as such. So let's have a look at the euro pound, which is another important pair. So here on the monthly, we see the quadruple top. That's a very strong barrier. So price couldn't go higher. So now instead it's probing lower. We are here at an important stop run level, and price is plotted a red bar, a small red bar. So small bars is always a good sign for follow through. If there's a big bar, well, it's more difficult to generate a follow through on a big bar. So yeah, a number of small bars plotted is actually a sign of the strength of the bears, and we might be able to cut through this level. We've got a double bottom here on the weekly as well, but I would rather expect, because we know we're overextended from the moving averages, I would rather expect that there's a bounce back into this sideways band, and then once price has recovered strength, then we will see a breakthrough lower. But I'll see actually the euro become weaker against the British pound, which is kind of interesting, because like the newspapers are full of news that the Brexit hurts the British economy so much, and that the pound is devaluating a lot. But it seems like it's not the British pound that's devaluating; it's the euro that is in much more trouble, even compared to the chaotic Brexit situation in the UK. So let's have a look at another interesting pair, the euro Swiss. So you might remember there was this peg, like the euro was pegged with the Swiss franc at 120. So this peg was released, so price came back. That's a very important level psychologically. There are a lot of burnt traders here in hedge funds who have traded counter trend, hoping that the peg would hold forever. Well, that's obviously not the case. Well, we saw a pullback to that important psychological level, to the pip, right? So that's quite fascinating. Came back to the pip, touched it, and then since then we're in a downtrend, and I'm expecting here as well that we see sooner or later that we hit the par level and below. The Swiss franc is a very strong currency, and we just learned that the euro is weak, well, against both the euro and the even the British pound, well, and obviously as well against the strong Swiss franc. Let's have a look at the other majors, like those that have the US dollar in, like the odd US. The Australian dollar is one of the weakest pairs I can actually find in my trade universe, and well, one reason why it's so weak over the last couple of months, well, we had a busted pattern here that has triggered in 2017, and since then, well, since then it's not looking at all good for the Australian dollar. And even now that it has devaluated so much, well, I think we're getting a quick move out of this situation, because the last stop run level down here has not been triggered yet. It's just testing the price level. We might see a big red bar maybe this coming month. Looking at the weekly, like zooming in, looking at the weekly, well, these are really nice stop run levels, right? These wicks, these bottom wicks, and to me it looks like very, very bearish. I could well imagine if the euro dollar starts to run lower, well, this will be a disaster for the Australian dollar, US dollar, because this is the weakest. Yeah, it's a combination of a weak pair with a strong pair. Well, this is the result you get. You get a strong downtrending chart, which gives you lots of opportunity for going short, obviously. Now let's have a look at the pound against the US dollar. Yeah, as well here we had a busted pattern on the monthly chart. I communicated that at the exact month of when it triggered during a live trading workshop, and it beautifully ran its course. You see, it has already triggered at the last stop run level, and it has tested here the 21. It held, and now it's just continuing its overall downtrend. And as well here, well, that's an important level, stop run level, but it is resistance, so it has bounced back. And on the weekly, well, we've got a month of indecision. It's a very small doji month, right? I could well imagine that we see here a cut through higher, a spike through the 200 moving average. So this is on a medium term basis, like of a couple of weeks. This might well happen. Before then it rolls over and continues its overall downtrend. So now here it's interesting to see how these last couple of weeks, right, that are going sideways, this sideways consolidation has created this doji bar on the weekly, right? All right, the Kiwi US. Well, it looks similar to the Australian dollar US. They're correlated. It's a very bearish chart, and we're sitting right here at an important low. If this breaks, well, there's no holding anymore, and the measured move will tell me, well, this is what we might move. So there might be like 2 years, 1.5 year of continued selling of the Kiwi against the dollar. So this is the US Swiss. It's kind of a special pair. I'm a bit confused with the US Swiss, because it had developed here a busted pattern, and it triggered, but it didn't show follow through. So it came back, and actually I don't know what it's going to do. I was very bearish. As you can see, it's coming from a long slide. So the Swiss franc is very strong, but since a couple of years, it's basically going sideways. So they're both strong. US dollar and US Swiss are equally strong, and we'll see who wins over the other, unless we are in an overall strong downtrend with a very, very long consolidation now. Well, the odds are higher that the Swiss franc is winning over the US dollar. Now let's have a look at the last pair, which is the US CAD. So here we see that the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, well, they're both strong. They're kind of in balance, but overall the US dollar, well, we're coming from a couple of years of an uptrend. The US dollar is stronger than the Canadian, and yeah, well, on this one I don't have a particularly view, neither long or short. I can see it can go in both ways. It can go higher. We've got a couple of stop line levels, so it could easily meet within the next couple of months the 150 area, or we could see a test of the 200 like it did before. So this can actually go both ways, and I'm neutral here on the monthly chart. So yeah, hope that was of it. No, we've got one more, the US yen. The yen, yeah. So the yen is strong as well against many other currencies, and here we can see how it's equally strong with the US dollar. It's basically in balance. We see these wicks, upper wicks and lower wicks, and we see it finds support here on the 200, support on the 200. It's basically sideways. So yeah, in conclusion, the strong pairs is the US dollar, it's the Swiss franc, and it's the yen and the CAD. So they're basically equally strong, maybe least the CAD. And we've got the weak pairs, which is the euro, which is the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and well, if you combine a strong currency with a weak currency, well, you get nice trends and nice trading opportunities. Thank you.